and welcome to Stocks Down Under. Today we're joined by Danny Maher, the CEO of FCT, Firstwave Cloud Technologies. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning.
Let's kick it off with a very sort of high-level question for people that are not familiar with the company. Can you talk us through what type of services you provide and what your clients are, or who your clients are?
Okay, so Firstwave is a software company, and we operate in the fields of cybersecurity, network management, and audit. We've got a variety of software platforms. Some of those platforms run as cloud services, and some of them are available both as cloud services and on-premise. Our major channels to market are service providers and managed service providers. We've got some really nice blue chip clients in organizations like Microsoft and NASA and Telmex and Telstra. And so some really good clients and both here in Australia and in particular in Latin America and the USA.
All right. And in terms of your current services today, you acquired a company a couple of years ago, Opmantek. That's been very pivotal for FCT. Can you talk us through why that has made such a big difference for the company in the last few years?
Yeah, FCT Firstwave is a very different company to what it was a few years ago, and that transformation, a large part of that transformation occurred through the Opmantek acquisition about 3 years ago. I came across with that acquisition, so I'm one of the major shareholders of Firstwave. So a lot of people think it's good to see an invested CEO. It's very exciting for me to be both CEO and a major shareholder as well. But historically, if we went back a few years, Firstwave was losing $16 to $18 million a year. The first half of this financial year was cash flow positive. We do enter a couple of quarters now where there's a small amount of cash burn, but that's a very, very different type of company. To see that cash burn come down that far has been really transformational. And also, prior to the acquisition of Opmantek, Firstwave had quite a reliance on Telstra as a partner in Australia with its cybersecurity platform. And post the acquisition, we became diversified both from a product and technology base, so a wider range of products, but also from the number of customers and the geographies we are operating in. So yeah, it was a very strategic acquisition for Firstwave.
Okay, and so looking at your service offering right now, what is the ideal customer for FCT, and why do they pick you over other providers?
Yeah, we do have a bit of a focus on our network management business right now and the opportunities that are presented with it. We've got a freemium user base in both our NMIS network management system and our open audit software, and there's a very, very large base of free users. We estimate around 150,000 organizations using those free products. So we do have a bit of a focus this year on monetizing that, and there's some reasons why we're going to do that now, and we hadn't done it previously. But that's a bit of a focus this year. Our ideal customers are managed service providers and large organizations. So the larger the organization, the more likely it is that there's less competitors when organizations are larger. Let me put it that way. So our software is able to scale from very small organizations to very large organizations. However, at the upper end of town, there's less competitors. So managed service providers can use all of our technologies. So we've got a secure traffic management product. We've got email and web security and firewall security, network management and audit. And so managed service providers are the ideal customer for us. And our primary target markets for growth are Latin America, where we're headquartered out of Mexico, and USA.
Right. Okay. And so the market for this type of service is probably very substantial. Can you talk a little bit about how big that market is, how big the opportunity is going forward, and where you see the main growth? And this could be in product categories, but also in jurisdictions or regions, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we You'll see us push towards compliance management, because if you think about our suite of products, they all play into compliance, which is a hot topic for organizations, and particularly larger organizations, again, which are our main target market. But as I mentioned earlier, this year we'll really start to try and push into monetizing this free user base that we've got, and that's a huge opportunity. You can do the maths reasonably simply. If there's 150,000 organizations, which is what we estimate using the free products, if you convert 3% of those, even at at $20,000 or $30,000 per annum, you're starting to talk about some pretty substantial growth. Now that's going to be experimental for us, I guess. It's a new initiative for us, and in the meantime, we'll continue to grow off our traditional base of network management software with managed service providers in particular, and our email, web, and firewall security products with Cybersession, and our traffic management products.
Okay, and so you've been with the company now a couple of years. You came across with the Opmantek acquisition. Looking, say, 5 years out, what are your ambitions with the FCT?
Yeah, it's a good question. 5 years out seems like a long time for us right now, because we've just come through a huge transformation of this company, and we really feel like we're at a new starting line for us. And certainly in the next 12 months, which is a big focus, you're going to see this push into compliance management, the monetization of our massive free user base, and leveraging AI to enable our clients to extract information out of the massive amounts of data that are inside our products that they're using. So our Open Audit product, for example, audits everything attached to a network, everything, every laptop, every printer, every version of firmware, hardware, software, firewalls, servers, routers, everything attached to a network. There is an enormous amount of data in that, and our VP of product, Sharon Honeybell, is part of the committee that just released the AI MCP server product and standard, and you'll be seeing us leverage that technology to give our customers the ability to query the massive amount of data that we're able to collect using the AI agents of their choice. So it's a lot of exciting things coming to help us monetize the technology we already have, but also to introduce some new technology to help with the monetization process.
All right. Final question then, Danny. Looking at the next 12 months, what do investors have to look forward to? What do you think will sort of whet their appetite for an investment in FCT? What's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, well, I really encourage investors to really see this as a new company. Our stock price has declined while we've gone through a massive transformation of reducing our cash burn, which is kind of ironic, because you'd expect it to go the other way as your cash burn improves. But we're heading towards cash flow positive now. We're very, very close. And I think so investors should look for us to be hitting cash flow positive. Investors should be looking for some news around what we do within our existing client base, and we'll be signing new clients as well. And I'm very hopeful once we start to push once we start pushing out some of this news, and we keep entering into cash flow positive territory, I really hope we see a very good return for shareholders.
All right. Well, hopefully the RBA in the next 12 months will do the right thing as well with interest rates, which hopefully helps the broader market in this very sort of uncertain environment. Danny, thank you very much for your time. And we'll keep a close eye on FCT going forward.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Cheers.